the trashy pulp novels of the world have anything to offer? Are bestsellers all they're hyped up to be? The Terrible Book Club explores whether or not you really can judge a book by its cover or its ridiculous synopsis. If you've ever seen a book and thought, ugh, who's reading this? We probably are.
Hello and welcome to episode 130 of the Terrible Book Club. I'm Chris and this is Paris.
Hello.
This time, we read some book-like debris that I found in the bowels of an Amazon search, the criteria of which has been lost to time. We read two things today. The first one we read was Shannon's Book of One Quote by Shannon Little, which was a whopping $2.99 for a single quote on one page. We also read Fastidious by Paul Richard Tash, published in July 2021. It was 7 pages and 99 cents, which is overpriced.
I'm dying of laughter. Hello.
We just read this seconds ago, Pat.
Yeah,
we read both of these in under 3 minutes. This is Terrible Book Club speed runs.
Yeah, so we had never done anything like this before, where we had both read something at the same time immediately and then recorded the episode, so we decided it would be fun to do that with some weird, short, book-like things. I would hesitate to call these books. They are not really books, but you can purchase them in book form on Amazon. So, anyhow, if this is your first time listening to the show, what we do here at the Terrible Book Club is we read books that we assume will be bad based on their cover, title, summary, or some combination of the three. And sometimes we read books that our patrons, listeners, or friends recommend. So we do the opposite of what most people do when they are looking to find something to read in a bookstore or on the internet. Usually this results in a hilariously disappointing read, but, once in a while we actually end up liking the book. Alright, so content warnings today. In addition to our usual barnyard language, today's episode includes discussion of murderous robots.
A brief mention of suicide, too.
And vaginal napkins. Not the kind, I'm not talking about a pad. I'm talking about napkins in the shape of vaginas.
Somehow that made it into a 7-page book.
Yeah, there you go. Be warned. Be forewarned. All right, Chris. How about we're gonna first talk. All right, this is gonna we're discussing 2 pieces of book debris today. So we're first going to discuss Shannon's Book of One Quote by Shannon Little.
Notice we're really skipping over the summarizing the book part here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there actually a description in the Amazon store for that?
Let's take a look at that. No.
Okay, Shannon's Book of One Quote. Gotta say, the title really says it all. It is a book by Shannon, and it has one quote in it. So, unfortunately, due to copyright law,
we can't
actually read the quote. But I'm gonna do something I've never had to do in my life and paraphrase a very short quote. So,
okay, let's see.
All
Can
right,
we do this, Paris?
All right, so give your goals your all immediately, because if you're not gonna do it now, then when are you gonna do it?
Okay,
essentially, essentially what the quote says, but not with those words.
That's sort of like reading, the subtext of the quote.
I mean, it's
Paris, how about this? I am going to rephrase the quote. So line by line here, I'm going to give a different... There's 4 lines to this quote.
Okay.
Okay, here is my version of Shannon's one quote. Maybe later? What time? Falling. All the way.
Also an acceptable version. So, I gotta say, well, part of me, I mean, it's the show's money. It's all of you lovely patrons that pay for, us to read a single quote for $2.99, but I gotta say,
the fucking Amazon Kindle app just asked me if I want to go back to the most recent page read in this book, Paris.
There's only one. No, there's 2 pages. The cover, and then the
would you
page.
like the cover or the quote?
That's all you got.
I know you have to scroll all the way back to get to the cover.
Oh no. I gotta say, despite the fact that we had to pay $2.99 for this, I have to praise Shannon Little for being smart enough to trick people into paying $2.99 to read this one quote.
It seems like quite a few people paid $2.99, Paris, because there's 18 reviews.
Or does Shannon Little have 18 friends that really wanted to support her in either doing this prank or doing something that was, I don't know, maybe some kind of a confidence boost or something. I don't know what this is.
Reading the reviews.
Please,
Can
okay.
I read the reviews, Paris?
Yeah, okay. So we're actually, for the first time ever, we have reviews that are individually longer than the book in question, than the work in question. Sure. Let's hear those reviews, Chris. Who's reviewing? Who's reviewing today?
Let's read Kevin C's review. It's the longest one, I think, that I see. Shannon did an amazing job with getting this book out there. It's a lot of work. She overcame a huge obstacle and gained some amazing momentum moving into the future. What was the obstacle? Clicking the publish button on Amazon?
Oh, maybe the obstacle was writing more than one sentence, and she got over it by just publishing one sentence. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to read a couple more here. Here is Amazon customer, 5 stars, way to step out there. Shannon took charge of the fear head on. Thank you for publishing, and you have motivated me to face my fears. 4 people found this helpful.
What?
Okay, now...
All right,
I want to read you my favorite review first. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to read you my favorite review first.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
It's by Terry Wilson, 5 stars, motivating. I really enjoy things that make us think. It makes me consider the author, their mindset, their fears, desire, and the willpower to jump.
Okay, all right. There are only 2 possibilities here. Either this is a prank, like an ingenious, silly scheme to make $3 every couple of days, or it is someone who really maybe needed to like do something to build their confidence, and this was it, and they have a lot of supportive friends. But I feel like we live in a hell world, so I'm going to say it's probably the first one.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. I really like the phrasing on that review of the willpower to jump as if you're standing on the precipice, on the edge of a tall cliff. And Shannon's one quote gave you the willpower.
To end it all, finally.
The willpower to jump.
Christ. Yeah, I mean, it's not, I don't think it's bad advice. Is it bad advice to do the thing you really want to do like right now? That's basically the advice we're being given, and to commit to it, I don't know. I think it's okay advice as long as that doesn't put you in like danger or
in the reviews down low, it seems to mention there's a YouTube channel by the name of Lewis Howes who talked about this book, and that's where some of these reviews are coming from.
Oh, okay.
It goes deeper. Okay, there's also one troubling review that I have to point out here, Paris.
Okay, sure.
It might alter your opinion of what's happening here. It's Kitty Curtin, 5 stars, go Shannon go. I love your first book. I bet you have 3 more years in you now.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to reading them.
Oh no. Okay, so maybe option 2 was correct.
It could possibly be the thing here.
Maybe this is somebody with like a really debilitating illness and they're like trying to live in the moment. Oh fuck. Oh, that's just, now I feel bad. Now I feel sad.
But how are we supposed to know this? And like someone just stumbling upon this wouldn't have that context, right? Like there's not a forward.
Right.
There's no description.
Yeah. I don't.
So when it's just out there, how are we supposed, like, we're not getting any of that. If that's the, let's say that's the case and we're a couple of jerks here right now saying, haha, this funny quote by someone that, you know, might have had to go through a lot just to put this one book out. We have no way of knowing that.
Yeah, I mean, this is effectively a tweet with a cup. This is a tweet with an image attached to it. So
yes, that we're being charged $3 for.
Yes. So, yeah, yeah, I agree that the lack of context makes it feel like a joke when it might actually be someone with the intention to, like, inspire other people and I don't know, this was their very kind of unorthodox way of showing that they overcame some sort of adversity, but yeah, devoid of context, I mean, it doesn't really have that effect.
If you had put that in the description, perhaps, or let me know, like, hey, I've been going through some tough times and this quote has helped me, I would have something more to go by. This is the rare case where I would like a little bit more background on the author and how they chose to write this book this one way, because I need it for something so thin, right?
Well, yeah, and I mean, why charge $2.99 for it? Why not make it free? Plenty of things on Kindle are free. Do they need to raise money?
If they do need to raise money, you should perhaps let me know.
Yeah. This is perplexing. I'm now leaning towards thinking that this is not a joke, and this is actually tied to someone's, like, serious long-term illness or perhaps some other kind of devastating or difficult trial. And it's just it's a strange way to kind of tell people that, I guess.
But you're not telling them anything.
Yeah.
You're just putting out this one inspirational quote and getting $3 for it, which, like, as you put it, is that necessary? Why not put it out for free or write a blog or just, like, tell your story on that dude's YouTube channel?
Or get a Twitter account and tweet it every day. Just tweet the same quote every day. It'll reach people.
I mean, actually, I agree. I think that actually would be more effective.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I would not recommend this book.
No.
And how I would fix it would be to provide some context, or I don't know, maybe write a few more quotes and at least call it a book of poetry. Because the quote is written in kind of, it's structurally set up sort of like a poem. So to me, you know, maybe just write a few dozen of those and be like, it's my book of poems about trying and not giving up and going for what you want. I mean, I'm not like, you know, I'm not really into that like intense positivity shit, but some people are.
I can get behind it sometimes.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna put something out for $2.99, just give me some more quote poems, and I would maybe accept that. But this is a little light, and also without any context, it's effectively meaningless.
Exactly, right? And
yeah,
if it's like a lot of effort for you to come up with the quotes or poetry, perhaps collect an anthology of some stuff your very supportive friends might want to say about you or for you, because if you have this network of supportive people here, as the reviews might suggest, maybe collecting their thoughts would be something that could add an additional crumb of anything. I mean, this is a meager meal to begin with, which I understand if you have other shit to deal with, and the point of the book is like, hey, it all coalesces down to this one idea for me at this point. Cool, but like, surround it with something.
Yeah, just on its own, this is really just pointless. I don't get it.
Paris, would you have a book of one quote? What quote would that be?
I guess, yeah. Well, I was going to ask you that too. What would Chris's book of one quote be, and what would Paris's book of one quote be?
What would my one quote be?
Oh, this is hard. I don't think.
I think I have a quote. I have a quote.
I think too much for one quote, so hit me.
My one quote would be, "Fuck. I'll try again."
That. Yeah. You know, very similar to Shannon's.
Yeah, pretty similar to Shannon's, I have to say. Just a little bit more blue in flavor, let's say.
Well, yours is about trying again rather than starting fresh. So
yes. And the continuation of Shannon's one quote. She has inspired me, Paris. Yes. She's accomplished her goal. Good job, Shannon.
Or is Shannon Little just an alias for Terriblo in our world?
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's only got 3 more years though, apparently.
That one. Yeah. This is definitely someone like trying to do something, I don't know, like courageous or hard for them, so I feel a little bad, but it is really meaningless without the context. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to. I
mean, yeah, we're doing what other people would do that don't know Shannon. If you're putting it onto a public platform, this is what would happen. And if you have if I have to dig into the reviews and someone had to say something about it, then we don't have that context in the work on its own, and maybe you don't want that context, and if you don't want that context, that's how people would react.
Yeah. I don't know what Paris's book of one quote would be. I guess it might be my book of one quote would be, do the thing, but not that thing.
Okay. A little vague, but
no, I guess it would just be yeah, it's not, I guess in the spirit of Shannon Little, it's not very directly helpful, but the context I can provide is that it's about thinking you're making the right decision, but actually making the wrong one. So
not very inspiring, Pat.
Well, I guess you should be
a cautionary tale, actually, in 2 lines.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I can't.
It is an ode to your overthinking.
That's true. I am too long. Yeah, that's really what it is. I am too long-winded to distill how I feel about everything into one quote, or like to distill my most important sentiment into one quote. But yeah, I guess it would be like, just make sure if you're overthinking about the right things to overthink about, like big life decisions and not like little things, because I definitely get hung up like overthinking about really small, insignificant things. Like decision paralysis over.
I'm gonna back that up.
Decision paralysis over like, oh no, I'm about to run out of conditioner. I should buy more. Oh no, but what conditioner? And then I read like 300 conditioner reviews, and then I've run out of conditioner, and I still don't have conditioner. And then I have too many options that I freak out and just buy one because which I could have done before, right? I could have just randomly bought one.
If only you went to Shannon's store of one conditioner.
Shannon's store of one conditioner. Oh,
this is Shannon's brand from here on out. She just has things that are one thing.
I think this is the most I've ever talked about one fucking sentence in my life. Actually, no, that's a lie. I used to study Western philosophy. Never mind. That's definitely a lie.
Isn't that what this is, Paris?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, okay, so why don't we move on to the other book?
Yeah, so the other book we read tonight together is is Fastidious by Paul Richard Tash. This was, 99 cents for 7 pages, which seemed like more of a deal than Shannon's book. It was published in July 2021. So this is really recent. This Fastidious book was published just a few months ago, just last year. So, obviously self-published. I gotta say, the cover really grabbed me. So, when somebody doesn't enlarge an image to scale and it gets warped because, they like pull the right side too much, or they fuck with the enlargement of a photo, so then, it's just like out of sorts. Somebody basically did that to pictures. We have the cover of this book doesn't have the title. It's just a picture of a stove with some food in it, a cartoon robot, and then a kind of darkly lit restaurant booth. And they're all just kind of squished on top of each other. So just stacked all together. Really weird. Not sure what they're going for there.
Book summary is: Lemto inherits his deceased grandpa's gourmet restaurant, Fastidious, and artificial intelligent robots with reluctance. Lemto's roommate, Horb, convinces him to take the chance of opening and operating the restaurant so he'll receive $5 million after 1 year. The artificial intelligent robots begin Fastidious, then something happens.
Okay. So, you know what that description reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
The Woman You Marry.
Oh, you're so right. Oh my god. It's
I can't tell if this is The Woman You Marry or this is AI generated. I think it's AI generated personally after reading it, but we can talk about it. So, all right. So our characters are Lemto, Horb, which are definitely 2 human names that people have, and then the 5 robots that work at the restaurant. Oh, also Lemto's grandpa, who
He's dead, though. He doesn't count.
I don't think he gets a name. Just grandpa.
He does not. He's just grandpa.
The 5 robots are named Roby Chef, Dawn Dishwasher, Roberta Waitress, Johnny Janitor, and Kelly Cashier. And so in this literary minefield of a story, we have Lemto's grandpa, leaves him sort of this like video game will, where he essentially has to in order to obtain Grandpa Simon, in order to get Grandpa Simon's Mega Millions lottery check for $5 million, Lemto has to successfully operate his grandpa's restaurant for 1 year. I don't know why you would gamify your will, but I guess here we are. Like,
haven't you ever heard about you got to live in the house for 1 night and you get the house? That old chestnut.
Yeah, but this is like way more involved. This is running a gourmet. It's a gourmet restaurant too. The fun thing is that it's a gourmet restaurant with a drive-through, because I mean, I kind of honestly like, I'd be down. That's kind of what happened during the pandemic. Like, there were these really nice sit-down places that you could just go pick up from, and it was fucking, I gotta say, big fan of gourmet drive-thru.
I loved it.
Yeah, same. So, all these details are kind of weird, but you're like, whatever. I mean, we've all watched, like, Knives Out or some other sort of gamified will situation.
I watched the Clue movie.
The Clue, yeah. I've clued. I've had somebody over the head with a candlestick in a library. You know. So you're like, whatever, Paris. That doesn't sound too weird. But the form that this story takes, I would say, is non-Euclidean. You know, otherworldly, perhaps.
Yes. It's certainly not our world. Because how about Paris? Can you read the paragraph where Lemto and Horb are talking about making the robots look like them?
Yes. Okay. So Lemto and his roommate Horb have decided that they're going to take up Grandpa Simon on his offer, and they go to the restaurant to turn on the robots because they have obviously been powered down since Grandpa Simon's been gone. And they say, "We forgot to activate their voices," Lemto said. Lemto and Horb press the voice mode button on the E-bots, short for employee bots. The E-bots introduce themselves. Roby Chef sounds like Gordon Ramsay. Roberta Waitress sounds like a female Shin Miyazaki. I don't know who that is. Don Dishwasher sounds like Anthony Bourdain. Johnny Janitor sounds like Carl Reed from the movie The Breakfast Club. Also no idea. And Kelly Cashier sounds like Madonna. Lemto whispers to Horb, "My grandpa had unusual tastes in voices. I think we should reprogram their voices to sound mechanical, more robotic. And the more I think about it, the more I think the robots should look like us, the owners of the restaurant." Horb smirks and says, "Can you really imagine robots sporting our looks? Your milky paint hair color, blue tomato eyes, and slender 6-foot body. And my charcoal clay hair, raspberry red eyes, and medium 5'6" body. Plus, how would we re-engineer the robots to look like my 29 and your 31 years of age? I think we should go with it and let the chips fall where they may."
Okay, so that's not people, right?
Yeah, so we got milky paint hair. Paint can be any color. So milky paint, I guess, an eggshell.
It's milk paint.
Eggshell.
Yeah, okay.
And then, so you got eggshell hair and then blue tomato eyes.
You know, those blue tomatoes.
You know, the blue ones. And then, charcoal clay hair. I mean,
These are not hair-like materials.
No,
at all.
And then raspberry red eyes. That's confusing. So I don't know if this is like these are aliens? I mean, Lemto and Horb certainly don't sound like human names, so maybe these are aliens.
But the Gordon Ramsay, those are human voices, and at one point in the story, they talk about having a Brahms piece playing in the restaurant.
Look, man, maybe their interdimensional TV is just stuck on the human channels. I don't know. That's my explanation.
Paris, I'm very interested in robot Gordon Ramsay kitchen nightmares.
Raw. I've eaten this. What are you? An idiot sandwich.
And then it just stabs you slowly because it's a fucking robot. So anyway, Lemto and Horb power up the robots. They decide, we're going to give this restaurant thing a go. They get their first couple customers. Their first customers order marinated grilled tofu a la king and tempeh wine. If you don't know what tempeh is, it's a dried fermented soybean, meat substitute, mostly used for fake bacon and, some other things. It doesn't make a wine. You wouldn't want to make a wine out of that.
Is it like the runoff from the creation process of making tempeh?
I guess it is a fermented legume, so you could have some kind of juice that would probably fuck you up a little bit, but it's not gonna taste good.
I mean, you really want to get fucked up, have some tempeh wine, Paris.
Now I gotta all right. I know that this is some AI nonsense, but now I gotta look this up because
you're gonna find out you want to get trashed. Do you want to get hammered, Paris?
No.
Have some tempeh wine.
No, that's not a thing. What is a la king actually? I don't know. I'm gonna look that up because I don't remember what that is. It's like a cream sauce. Oh, tofu and a cream sauce.
Ugh.
Oh, that would be fucking nasty.
You're ordering that? Jesus Christ. So later on, the robots like fuck up the orders, right? And they give them weird shit. It's like, oh, I wanted a beer, not a deer. I wanted pie, not a fly. And it feels like this is already the fucked up orders. If like you're ordering tempo wine and creamy tofu.
Tofu a la king. That just sounds fucking nasty. And then there's like in the drive-thru, the orders are garlic truffle fries, sticky apple and soy glaze, and Koya soda. I don't know what Koya.
I think it's cola soda, Paris, with a K.
No, Chris, that's an I. I know you probably can't tell. That's Koia.
Okay.
And then their parents order spicy Chinese eggplant with Szechuan sauce with chilies and peanuts. I mean, that sounds delicious.
That's normal. That's the most normal thing I've seen.
But then soybean souffle soda. I mean, you know.
How do you souffle a soybean?
I don't know. I mean, soy milk is good, but like a soy souffle soda. I don't know about that.
How do you souffle a soda?
How do you soda souffle is really what's happening here. I mean,
how do you soy a well, soy soda I think could be kind of reasonable, maybe.
I mean, it'd be like milky and carbonated, which is kind of a weird combination.
I've definitely seen Japanese drinks that are something like that.
Yeah, not my favorite, but I don't know. It just doesn't.
It's really
seem
the souffle part that I'm having a hard time with.
Yeah. So for the first 3 weeks, everything goes well at the restaurant, and then this story just really started to take some turns into other dimensions entirely. So it was already fucking bizarre. But then on page 6, I'm just gonna read this in chapter 4. Talk about a book that doesn't need chapters. This is it. It says, Lemto, wearing a concerned look on his face, says to Horb, "There's a complication. Our customer demographic changed from married couples and families to single, young, and LGBTQ customers. I'm not complaining, but I want all customers to frequent Fastidious and enjoy their eating experience. I don't understand why married couples and families stopped coming. I didn't hear any customer complaints. Did you, Horb?" Horb answers, "No." Lemto says, "We must find out the reason, otherwise Fastidious won't profit and we'll go out of business." Horb interrupts and finishes Lemto's sentence. "And you won't receive $5 million next year." Lemto says, "I couldn't have said it better myself." So there's just this like random thing about like, oh no, all of our customers are single and queer now. Why did this happen? And that is just the most AI written shit in the world because I
gotta agree, right?
No
like, there's
human
something
being,
just so out of nowhere about that.
No human being would write a book where it was like, oh no, all of a sudden all of our customers are queer and single, and young. Why would your customers suddenly change like that? What? And if they did,
there's a reason given. Was there a reason given? It's the napkins, Paris. The napkin folding.
Oh my god, I forgot. That's right. Okay. And then, so now that things, you're in like the fucking 4th dimension. Well, we're about to go into the 5th dimension because on page 7, they decide, they're like, well, let's ask all the customers if there's a specific reason that's like attracting them to the restaurant. Basically, let's survey the customers and find out why they're all young and single and queer. Lemto, upset and disappointed, says to Horb, "We didn't reprogram the e-bots to make different shaped napkins, especially the inappropriate type they made." Horb tries to look on the bright side and says, "One mistake isn't the end of the world. Look at the new happy customers. We can't make every customer happy." Lemto, concerned, asks Horb for clarification. "Are you telling me that you're okay with the e-bots changing the elegant pink tulip flower-shaped napkin to the female V shape?" Horb answers, "If the customers are happy." Lemto, now agitated, says, "This unprogrammed and unprofessional behavior is unacceptable." Yeah, so they then decide to keep so to be clear, the robots at first, the first 3 weeks, were shaping the pink napkins into tulips, and now they've made them into vaginas.
The female V.
The female V shape. And they decide we'll we'll give the we'll give the vagina napkins a week. And if anyone complains, then we'll change it. And they're like, well, why would the robots change that without being reprogrammed? And they said, I don't know. But that's not really connected to the sudden young single queer demographic. It just comes after it, but it's not connected at all.
Well, they did the survey, Paris, and they said, well, we really like these vagina napkins.
No, nobody said that, Chris.
Oh, okay.
That's
well, then
I'm
just despereately clawing for any sort of connective tissue here.
Yes, you are. And also this book is written in a very confusing and terrible way. So, eventually, the robots start acting up more. So first they start with vaginal napkins, and then they move to giving people deers instead of beers, and a hamburger is not a hamburger, and and then they have to close the restaurant down, and then the Lemto and Horb start yelling at the robots. I mean, why you would do that, I don't know. Because we've never established before that they were like conversational robots, but I guess they are.
Well, they have voices because they got the one with the Gordon Ramsay voice, who I assume does not take being yelled at very well. I don't think you could yell at Gordon Ramsay. Usually he says, like, listen, you fucking twit, or I suppose in this robot voice,
fucking knob.
Yes. That is basically what happens. They yell at the robots, and the robots explain that they are I'm sorry, the robots don't say this. Lemto yells at the robots and says, "You are not fastidious, you are fast idiots." Says, "What happened? You were all perfect for weeks, and then, what happened?" And the robot smacks Lemto across the face, talks shit about his grandpa, and then says, "We'll talk any darn way we want." And they don't want to live in the psychotic, ugly human reality any longer. They said human. Chris, that said human.
Okay.
And then the robots say, "Neither are you." And then the robot shoots Lemto and kills him, and then says, "Horb, you are the only understanding person. You get to live." And then the robots kill themselves in a ritual robot suicide.
The end.
The end.
Okay.
I don't.
Paris.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I gotta say, that went places I didn't expect.
It certainly did. I never would have predicted vagina napkins, as you said before. I never would have predicted ritual robot suicide after murdering their owner for screaming at them for giving out deer instead of beer.
Yeah. I also wouldn't have expected, oh no, our clientele is suddenly young, single, and queer. What do we do about it?
We gotta find something to do. We're making money, but...
And then they just abandon that because of vaginal napkins, and then things, this to me, okay, I mean, how do I feel about it? It was awful. It just felt really bizarre. I mean, it felt AI written, so it felt AI generated rather, so I don't really know that I have much to say about it other than that it's just total bullshit and makes no sense. If it wasn't AI generated, then I think we're dealing with some pretty serious, like, non-comprehension of English. Like, whoever this person is doesn't have a good grasp on the English language if it's not AI generated.
I really feel like this whole thing was conceived when someone did the Fastidious to Fast Idiots connection.
Oh,
and
yeah, absolutely.
They wrote a whole thing based around making that joke. Paris, do you have anything else to say? Because I have a way I would like to close out my analysis of this story.
I would not recommend it. Don't read this. And whoever wrote it, you should really redo this story. Please redo this story. Because honestly, robot revolts are kind of a common theme in sci-fi, but it would just need So much work. The whole like gamified will thing, maybe you could make that work too. I don't know, but yeah, you really need to like connect these ideas, and also the writing was just awful. I mean, it really feels like it was generated by a computer because it doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, get some editors, redo the story. Don't let a computer write your book. That's my advice.
Okay. Paris, I am not going to do any analysis whatsoever, and instead I am going to replace that segment with me reading a bunch of Gordon Ramsay quotes in a robot voice. This is from 100 Best Gordon Ramsay Quotes and Insults, according to Parade.com.
My gran could do better, and she's dead. This lamb is so undercooked, it's following Mary to school. So disgusting. If you take it to Italy, you'll get arrested. The chicken crossed the road because you didn't fucking cook it. They're like a big fucking muffin.
That's great. That's great. Chris, I think that today's episode just made me feel actually kind of miserable about the state of
Yes.
of literature.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
The fact that you can just wander around Amazon and just pay like 99 cents or $2.99, pay any money for any of this stuff is wild. I mean, we do it because we have a show based around this, but other people are clearly doing this, and I just can't believe that this works. It makes me feel like, why am I trying? Why am I not just writing dollar stories on Amazon?
I mean, they can't really be getting bought enough to be any sort of stable living, right?
But what if the short story was good?
What do you mean?
I'm saying, like, what if you wrote something that was actually decent and sold it for a couple bucks? I mean, people do that, and I feel like an idiot for having a job, I guess is what I'm saying.
Maybe you should start doing this.
Maybe I should.
I mean, maybe these are the smart people, Paris. Have you ever considered that's the hell dimension that you're living in?
I said that specifically about Shannon Little. I was like, this is a brilliant way to con people out of $3. Anyway,
I get what you mean, though. Like, it's about that, like, lowering bar for distribution is a very double-edged sword. On the one hand, it gets a lot more ideas out there. On the other hand, a lot of them are like this and a complete waste of time and of no use to anyone.
Yeah. And again, if you're working on drafts, or I mean, you don't need to publish them. I mean, I guess if you can get money for them and you do, great, and you don't care about your reputation, then yeah, sure, I guess get $1 or something. But I don't know, man. I'm really tired too, so I think, and we've had a lot of tech problems this evening.
Yes,
so I think,
it's been a true cursing for the beginning of season 7 here.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's February now, I guess. In the distant future, it's weird to say that. I will be older by the time this episode comes out. My birthday will have already happened.
Technically, every episode that comes out, you're a little older by the time it comes out.
But I will have had my annual rotation around the sun. It will have been my birthday by the time this episode airs. So, and in any case, I hope y'all are having a lovely start to your Februarys. And oh wow, this was
a depressing episode for me, Paris.
Yeah, it's like depressing and it hurts my brain, and I'm tired. So I don't know. I feel like maybe we should come back to this.
Maybe someday.
Someday we'll read more Paul Tash and Shannon Little. Someday.
All right, Paris. With that, why don't we just, as usual, thank the patrons?
Yeah, you know what, Chris? Why don't you do it tonight?
Okay.
I'm kind of fucking done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We've been here quite a while dealing with this. patrons for helping us through this depressing slog, as you always do. Thank you, Dari, Greg, Veronica, Will, Dee, Jared, Lynn, Senia, Yakub, Bobby, Black Hat, Lycoris, Elliot, Kieran, Martin, Jay, Scott, Luchek, CTAP1, Miri, Yanka, David, Julius, Anya, Anonymous, Patricia, Austin, Donnie, Crimson Paladin, Callum, and Laxtodes. There's a speed run of the patron list for you, much like a speed read of these books, Paris.
I mean, they were speed written, so you know what?
Yes.
That's all we owe them is a speed read and a speed review. Fucking trash. Don't read them.
If you want to help support the show, please subscribe or watch on YouTube. Leave a comment, like a video. You can also go over to our Patreon at patreon.com/terriblebookclub. For $1, $5, or $10 a month, you can access videos, Mystery Science Theater 3000 style commentary of bad TV, movies, outtakes, other random audiovisual weirdness. And of course, you can always make us read a certain book for your pleasure. We might be implementing some page count restrictions on those donations soon. We'll see if that happened by the time this episode comes up. You can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Goodreads, or message us on those platforms. Most importantly, though, we'd really love it if you shared the show on social media and told at least one person about it. You could also keep those reviews coming, and we'll read them on any future episodes when we see them. Or you could just send us an email at terriblebookclub@gmail.com with whatever your heart desires to talk to us about. Yeah. All right, Paris.
All right.
I'm done.
Oh, well, thank you, Chris. I'm also done. I still need to do one more thing before I go to bed tonight.
Well, good luck with that. We're recording this all the way in November, and this will be sort of the last in our series of pre-recorded stuff. So the next episode, we should be back more energized. So there will be a huge jump in energy, hopefully, between this episode and the next.
Yeah, let's hope. And I don't think I ever want to go diving for cheap, weird books on Amazon again. This was
demoralizing. Devastating. Yes.
Demoralizing. So, oh man. All right. Well, here's to a better rest of this month. Better rest of February.
All right. See you later, Paris.
Bye, Chris.